For decades, the CIA has been obsessed with uncovering the hidden capabilities of the human mind. Their interest in meditation and higher states of awareness wasn't about relaxation or spiritual growth. It was about control, intelligence, and influence. They weren't studying these techniques for personal enlightenment. They wanted to know if meditation could be used to unlock abilities that could change the nature of warfare, intelligence gathering, and psychological manipulation. If a person could train their mind to perceive beyond normal reality, what else could they do? Could they predict events before they happened? Could they gather information from a distance without physical contact? And most importantly, could these abilities be weaponized? The CIA's research into consciousness was never about curiosity. It was about gaining an advantage. Meditation wasn't just seen as a calming technique. It was viewed as a possible tool for spying, psychological warfare, and even influencing human perception on a massive scale. What they discovered behind closed doors was disturbing enough to keep them investing in this field for decades. The real question is, what did they find? And why was it important enough to remain one of their most closely guarded secrets? Now, let's look at some of the possible reasons. 1. The search for a mind without limits. The first reason for the CIA's deep interest in meditation was the possibility of expanding human potential beyond known limits. They weren't looking for relaxation techniques. They were looking for ways to break the constraints of normal perception. Some early experiments focused on whether highly trained individuals could alter their physiological states at will, slowing heart rates, controlling pain, or even entering deep trances that allowed them to access heightened intuition. If this was possible, it meant that soldiers, spies, and operatives could function at peak efficiency even under extreme conditions. They studied individuals who had spent years practicing deep meditation, looking for patterns in brain activity that might explain how they achieved these altered states. EEG scans, brainwave synchronization studies, and even early biofeedback devices were used to measure what happened when a person entered a deep meditative state. Reports suggested that some subjects could access levels of awareness that defied conventional science, describing a sense of detachment from the physical body, an expanded sense of perception, and even the ability to process information at speeds beyond ordinary cognition. The implications of these findings were staggering. If meditation could unlock parts of the brain that were normally dormant, what else could it do? Could a trained operative process intelligence faster than an untrained one? Could a soldier resist pain or extreme cold without medical intervention? The CIA wasn't interested in spirituality. They were interested in control over the mind, over the body, and over the very nature of human consciousness. 2. Accessing information without physical contact. One of the most disturbing and secretive areas of their research involved the possibility that meditation could allow a person to gather intelligence remotely. This wasn't science fiction. It was something they actively tested. Certain deep meditative states were believed to allow individuals to access a form of non-local consciousness, a concept that suggested the mind was not confined to the brain but could extend beyond it. This idea led to experiments where trained subjects were asked to describe locations, people, or events without ever physically seeing them. Some results were so accurate that the CIA had no choice but to continue the research. If a person in a controlled setting could describe a hidden military installation on the other side of the world, what did that mean for the nature of human perception? And more importantly, how could they use this ability for intelligence purposes? These findings had immediate applications. If operatives could be trained to gather information without ever setting foot in a location, it would eliminate the risk of spies being caught. If high-ranking officials could be observed from a distance, their plans could be understood without any direct communication or surveillance equipment. This was an intelligence agency's dream: information without risk, knowledge without infiltration. The deeper they went, the more they realized that the human mind might be the most powerful surveillance tool ever created. 3. The power to influence thought and perception. Intelligence gathering was only one side of the equation. The CIA also wanted to know whether meditation could be used to manipulate perception on an individual and collective level. Some meditation practices focus on shifting awareness, controlling thoughts, and even influencing the thoughts of others. If one person could train their mind to resist external influence, it stood to reason that the opposite might also be true. One mind could potentially be used to direct the perception of others. This had enormous implications for psychological operations and social control. If large groups of people could be subtly influenced through directed mental focus, then governments, intelligence agencies, and military strategists had a new kind of weapon. The idea wasn't just about hypnotizing individuals. It was about shaping public opinion, guiding mass movements, and even controlling the flow of ideas without people realizing it. There were also experiments on whether meditation could alter emotional states, increase suggestibility, or even create false memories. If a person in a deep meditative state could be made to believe an implanted thought was their own, it meant the possibility of creating willing agents who had no idea they were being controlled. The ethical implications of this research were horrifying, but that didn't stop the CIA from pushing forward. The goal was simple: to understand and control the mechanics of human awareness itself. 4. The potential for mind-to-mind communication. The CIA wasn't just interested in remote viewing or intelligence gathering, they were exploring the possibility of direct mental communication between individuals. If meditation could expand awareness beyond the physical brain, could thoughts be transmitted from one person to another without speaking? Some experiments suggested that highly trained individuals could exchange information telepathically, bypassing all known methods of surveillance and interception. This had unprecedented implications for intelligence operations. If two operatives could share classified information through thought alone, no phone call, email, or written message would ever be needed. Encryption would become irrelevant. It would be the perfect method of covert communication, undetectable, untraceable, and unbreakable. Of course, the possibility of weaponizing this ability was just as appealing. If thoughts could be projected, could an enemy's mind be infiltrated without them knowing? Could foreign leaders, military commanders, or political figures be influenced, persuaded, or even manipulated through direct mental intrusion? The deeper the research went, the more unsettling the implications became. If the human mind could be accessed like a radio frequency, the battlefield of the future wouldn't be fought with weapons. It would be fought in the subconscious. 5. The possibility of life beyond the physical. One of the most controversial reasons behind the CIA's interest in meditation was the idea that consciousness might not be confined to the body. Some research hinted at the possibility that deep meditation could allow individuals to experience a reality beyond the physical world. This wasn't just about astral projection or out-of-body experiences. It was about accessing knowledge, intelligence, and possibly even entities that existed outside of human perception. This idea wasn't dismissed as superstition. Some meditation subjects reported encountering non-human intelligences, accessing unknown information, or gaining insights that seemed to come from an external source. The CIA's research suggested that certain states of awareness could connect individuals to a vast, unseen network of knowledge, one that could contain answers far beyond human comprehension. And that raised disturbing questions. If meditation allowed a person to access something beyond the material world, who or what else had access to it? If knowledge, ideas, and even perceptions could be influenced from an external source, was it possible that powerful forces, whether human or something else, were already shaping reality in ways we couldn't fully understand? The CIA wasn't just looking for a way to enhance human potential. They were searching for the very limits of consciousness itself. 6. The fear that other nations were ahead. One of the biggest motivators for the CIA's deep interest in meditation wasn't just curiosity, it was paranoia. The Cold War wasn't just a race for nuclear supremacy, it was also a battle for dominance in psychological warfare, mind control, and cognitive enhancement. Reports from the Soviet Union, China, and even Nazi Germany suggested that these nations were already conducting advanced experiments on consciousness, brainwave manipulation, and altered states of awareness. Some intelligence reports suggested that Soviet scientists were training soldiers to withstand pain, resist interrogation, and access expanded states of awareness using meditation and other esoteric techniques. The idea that an enemy soldier could function with heightened perception, enhanced intuition, or even a reduced need for sleep was a serious national security threat. If meditation could create a more powerful, resilient, and mentally superior fighter, the CIA needed to know exactly how it worked and how to counter it. This fear wasn't just theoretical. Declassified documents reveal that US intelligence agencies were actively monitoring foreign research into altered states of consciousness. Some reports even suggested that hostile governments might be experimenting with techniques to implant thoughts, manipulate perceptions, and break the human mind through meditation-based psychological warfare. If that was true, then the CIA wasn't just exploring meditation for its benefits, they were scrambling to keep up with what other nations were already mastering. A secret that never went away. The real reason the CIA never lost interest in meditation was that it worked. Too many experiments produced results that defied conventional explanations. Too many subjects displayed abilities that couldn't be ignored. Meditation wasn't just a tool for personal well-being, it was a gateway to hidden capabilities that, if properly harnessed, could shift the balance of power in intelligence operations, military strategy, and social influence. So, did they stop once the public became aware of them, or did they simply go deeper underground, hidden under new names and classified research programs? Some believe that modern advancements in neuroscience, artificial intelligence, and brain-computer interfaces are the continuation of this research, just in a more technologically advanced form. The pursuit of mind enhancement, control and manipulation never ended. It just evolved. And if the government has already explored these possibilities, one question remains. What do they know that we don't? If you have made it this far, let us know what you think in the comment section below. For more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.